I'm casting off all my apps to make room for these videos, and I'm getting simpler. But all I meant to say is that the connection between a mother who has maybe experienced the most suffering, therefore lost the most innocence, and a cub who is the quintessence of innocence, that bond may be the deepest bond in existence. And I've said that existence may be nothing beyond bonding. Chemistry may be nothing without romance. Romance is nothing without bond. Bond is nothing without word. Word is bond. That bond between lack of experience and experience is the deepest bond, I think. And then like another example of that is like I've seen these videos of like military men like training, like doing rounds training, like highly what would be thought to be skilled and trained combatants training like with bazookas, like running down the field with machine guns and bazookas, like it's cool, and then you can tell they kind of think it's cool and they're good at it and they enjoy it enough to be good at it. I don't think they understand how mean that experience of experiencing a bazooka can be to a human being, what that could feel like. So that they would actually appear very juvenile and innocent and yachtness, running up with a bazooka like it's cool like that. Or if they actually have employed it before and they have a taste or some understanding of what that could feel like to experience a bazooka, and they are yet still having that much fun, and that is that cool to them, that's deeply wicked, so wicked as to almost not be wicked anymore. Like as a tiger is so much of a killer not to be a killer, and it's kind of actually it's kind of somewhat like interesting, and it kind of piques the curiosity. Like, are you that mean? Are you that innocent? Are you both of that? It's profound. But yeah, I did once see a bazooka land on top of like I think it was a bazooka in the hands of rebels, and it landed squarely, neatly across the field on a mechanized unit of some kind of infantry or engineers, and it blew the top off a tank, and there's no way anyone could have survived that. That may be yet as horrible as an experience as anyone has experienced. I'm not saying something has been more or less than that, but I can appreciate that as maybe being the most the most horrible thing to experience. But what I want to say is that how did they get into that situation? I think someone ran some numbers by them at some point, and that's why I think running numbers is the wickedest thing and is the devil. Number is the devil. A recruiter probably said you can make this much, you can go to school in this many years. Somewhere before that person got up into that mechanized unit to have the top blown off of that mechanized unit, someone had ran a number by them somewhere. Now, what is the most who actually has undertaken anything without a concept of numbers somehow and been enticed or coerced by numbers somehow? That might actually be like an uneducated, what would be considered ignorant, or just like maybe a rebel, a juvenile person of a war combatant of another demographic in society, that might be like a martyr. Maybe we can say that we can reason that maybe a martyr has undertaken something without the concept of a number, if anyone. But then you could also say they may have been promised this and that many virgins, so a number had been ran on them too. But I'm being facetious with that. But I think maybe actually a martyr might be the one to have done that, if anyone. But I just want to say that a lot of the things that get us into the worst situations are when someone's running a number on someone. If I wanted to talk about what's the meanest, so they say that the oldest we all know what's been called the oldest profession, and I'm not going to say what that is, but actually there's no profession, there's no isolated independent profession, so we can say there's been, I think, at least 3 professions, because if there's one, the oldest profession, there must be at least another, probably at least, we can say maybe no profession can exist without at least 2 other professions that support it, if I can give myself that much license. One might be more so kind or think itself kind, and one more be more so mean and think itself mean. What would that be? You had the cop, the robber, and the oldest profession had been the oldest professions, as is the oldest profession. And that's also similar to the different pairs of 3 that I've said in this, as like what's called sattvic, tamasic, rahasic, the self-interest, big-heartedness, and motion are like 3 things, and then that can be applied in many dimensions as maybe different trinities, and also the trinity of profession: cop, robber, and the oldest profession. Yet, how I don't know that any profession has ever existed outside of some concept of numbers, even before we had representative numbers. Y'all, so the oldest profession had numbers there. So we had a concept of numbers, how many of us are doing what, but most things are attended by numbers. But I want to say that numbers may be the most brutal thing, and also the most arbitrary thing, because they're settled. This is what a number is and can be and what it means. is settled, and I think that's why it's been said that we may be one of the more intelligent civilizations to exist, and I think that may be the stark that we are actually can be in fact the dumbest civilization to exist, notwithstanding what